Handicap hurdle. Stuart Machin is the man behind the mic.
They're off. 13 fences to jump, and it's a relatively short run to the first of the flights in the Betfair Stayers handicap hurdle. A little bit of a dash. Twig out wide in the cheek pieces is handy. Castle Rush and the white sleeves and cap up there with the white face. Back Me a Sack Me, Phantom of the Points and a black jacket. And then Kerry Hill down on the inner with the orange cap as they now begin to sort themselves out with two complete circuits of the hurdle track ahead of them, and Phantom of the Points in the black and green moving on early. To Twig. Kerry Hill racing around the inner of Back Me or Sack Me. They race third or fourth, and then the Imposter in a blue and white jacket in fifth position. Castle Rush and out wide, Rain back into sixth. Further back then to the first of the greys, Push the Button. Racing wide of Jody Ted, who's down at the running rail in the red sleeves. Jody Ted about 6 or 7 lengths off the lead. Zane Knights in a red and green jacket is in midfield ahead of another grey One Big Bang in the light blue and pink, and then Shoot First from Ottazini. Catch Him Derry is held up. Red and white socks for Harry Skelton. Stablemate Gwenny Mayboy in the purple and yellow is also in rear, and Patriotic dark green jacket for Izzy Williams was just about the last to land over the second, as Phantom of the Points and Jack Tudor lead them on towards the third. The middle flight in the back straight first time. Twig is racing a handy second. And then Kerry Hill down on the orange sleeves, followed over by Back Me or Sack Me. One Big Bang towards midfield helped kick that flight flat. I think it was Back Me or Sack Me who was already sending it on its way down. And they move now deep inside the last 2.5 miles. On to the final flight in the back straight for the first time. Phantom of the Points and Twig go to it, and they're virtually inseparable, each hurdling pretty fluently. Followed over by Kerry Hill down in the inner, and then Back Me or Sack Me. Castle Rush and the cheek piece is wide, and wider still Ottazini. One Big Bang is back towards midfield. The Imposter a striped cap down at the running rail, followed by Jody Ted as they move into the next bend. And then Zane Knights and Gwenny Mayboy, in turn followed by Shoot First. Push the Button, drifting back through the field a little. The grey has only got a couple behind as they reach the crown of the bend. Catch Him Derry, ridden with great patience, is one of them. And Patriotic remains last of all as they turn inside the last 2 miles. So heading up the straight and on now towards the fifth. And the pace still being set by Phantom of the Points and Twig in the cheek pieces. Kerry Hill is tracking the leading pair. Then Back Me or Sack Me to Castle Russian. One Big Bang. Ottazini out deepest in the red cap. And a tumbling fall for Gwenny Mayboy there, who has tumbled out of the race. Gwenny Mayboy out of the race at the fifth. The horse is up and seemingly okay as the rest close in on the next flight, and Charlie Todd is on his feet as well. So Gwenny Mayboy out of the race before halfway. The Imposter needs a bit of encouragement. He jumped off handily, but he's just drifting back through the field as they complete a circuit in the Betfair Stayers handicap hurdle, and now they approach the seventh. Phantom of the Points over Twig and Kerry Hill. Back Me or Sack Me. Ottazini on the near side of Castle Rush, and then One Big Bang who's right down on the inner, followed over by Zane Knights, and behind Zane Knights is Shoot First. And then working back to Catch Him Derry in a red and white jacket, who's still ridden with great patience. Jody Teddy's down on the inner with the red sleeves just ahead of Catch Him Derry. Then the weakening, seemingly the Imposter. And towards the back of the field, Push the Button and Patriotic as they've gone well beyond halfway. And they head away towards the back straight once more. Taken there by Phantom of the Points over Twig and Kerry Hill. Ottazini, the red cap, is the shadow to Castle Russian, and Back Me or Sack Me is one off the inner, and right down on the inner is One Big Bang, the grey, with Callum Hogan removing a little bit of mud from his goggles. Zane Knights and Shoot First slightly worse than midfield. Jody Ted, well, you can almost make out the red sleeves of Mark McDonough right down at the running rail. The Imposter has dropped himself out to be last of all. Catch Him Derry is continuing to pick them off one by one from the rear under a quiet ride from Harry Skelton, as they move now on towards the last mile or so of the race, and the Imposter is being pulled up. So the others go to the middle one over on the far side, and it's Phantom of the Points who draws to this one ahead. Kerry Hill down on the inner. Catch Him Derry is making progress, and we lose one right out the back of the field. Looked like Patriotic unseated there. So they move on now towards the last over on the far side. Patriotic is running loose. Izzy Williams is on her knees. And it's Phantom of the Points. Twig, whose cheek pieces are still white, evidence that he's been up there from the outset. Then Back Me or Sack Me in behind Castle Russian. Kerry Hill down on the inner with the orange sleeves. Jody Ted is being eased off, looks like pulling up. Now Catch Him Derry is one from the outer, making progress still under Harry Skelton. He's got Ottazini, red cap, widest of all, being pushed along. Shoot First. You might just make out the emerald green, moving up into about 4th or 5th position. The grey One Big Bang is being ridden along as they prepare to turn for home. Zane Knights is the latest to be pulled up. And as they swing on in, it's Phantom of the Points, who's made much of the running so far, still up ahead under Jack Tudor. Without wide, beginning to improve still Shoot First. Castle Russian, big price, but remains there in 3rd place, the white cap. Then One Big Bang, who's plugged on into 4th place, keeping on under pressure as they close in on the 3rd last. Shoot First in the emerald green, coming to challenge Phantom of the Points. Then One Big Bang, Castle Russian. No more from Twig, who's weakening away, and then Back Me or Sack Me. They've still got 2 to jump, but it's Shoot First and Alex Harvey who've moved through to lead here. From Phantom of the Points, it's going to be a long last quarter mile here. Phantom of the Points bungled the second last. That's done for him. One Big Bang is still keeping on under pressure in second, but it's Shoot First for the Charles Burns team. On down towards the 13th and final flight. They've still got over a furlong to go. Shoot First, One Big Bang, Phantom of the Points after that error, rallying under pressure, closing in on the final flight. Shoot First, steadied, got over it, little bit quicker than One Big Bang. Phantom of the Points is back in 3rd. A slow motion finish to the Betfair Stayers hurdle, but it's Shoot First, all guns blazing for Alex Harvey and Charles Burns, and the prize goes to Ireland. Shoot First beats One Big Bang. Phantom of the Points, a gutsy effort from the front. He eventually finishes 3rd. Close 4th between Castle Russian and Back Me or Sack Me, and they're the only ones to complete.